Okay, new day here in the shop. Shop dogs, what are you doing? Cisco, what do you think? Shadow? What do you think today, huh? A little warm. Jax wasn't feeling good this morning, so he's kind of laying around in the house, but today we're gonna get back on the 53 Ford Victoria. Haven't done anything on it for probably a couple of months. Started doing my backhoe job for my neighbor, and if you watch all my videos, you'll see I had a hydraulic pump failure. So it was about 2 weeks getting that back up and running, and then had to go finish his job, and anyhow, things got in the way, but we're back on the 53 today. I got a little sneak preview for you. I've got some goodies here well, by the time you guys see this, it'll be a couple of weeks, but today we're gonna be working on the headliner bows and getting our dynamat in here. So not sure how much filming there'll be, maybe some time lapse, but I got my a 1/4-inch dynamat here, and they actually call this dyna liner. So I got two sheets of this. What I got to do is I got to get that dynamat put on there, and then I got to put my bows back in, and what I got to do, I got to get that dynamat in, and then I got to get these bows in where they just fit just snug to it. And my upholstery guy actually wants to leave a few bows out. He said these old cars, he never thought they looked quite right with all them bows, so we're gonna leave a few of them out. So once I get that dyna liner in, then I've got to I'll take and start fitting them in again, and I may have to trim down the ends to where they fit in there and they're just snug to that dynamat. I'm trying to put my process in order here now, because as we were looking at this, there's a couple of things I got to do in order. So on the rear, can't put the rear window in until you get the headliner in, because that headliner has to go and hooks into these, probably hard to see there. Well, you can see them here. You can see them better here. So these little alligator teeth, they call them, are sticking up, and that's what holds your headliner in. So I can't put the rear window in, and actually I'm not going to put the front windshield in until I get it painted and stuff either. But then the other thing I found, there's a stainless, about a 2-inch stainless band that goes across here, and it has, the clips in it has studs that go down in these holes. Well, I have to get that in. I don't have to, but if I put the headliner in, then I would have to take it loose back there to get up into those. There you can see them across there, because that's the openings for to put the studs. That's the opening to put the studs on the nuts. So it's kind of looking like I may have to paint the top before I can put the headliner in. So that's where I'm at on that right now. I really don't want to pull that headliner loose after he's got it put in. I could probably do it, but I've never messed with a headliner like this. I just soon he'd done it, so we get it right. So then the other thing I've been trying to figure out is I want to get all my jambs done. And the interior painted. because I got to take it to his shop and he's going to do the headliner and the carpet there. So I need to get that interior done, painted, and then the dynamat down on the floor and that type of stuff so he can put the carpet in, which leads to a couple of other things. I'm going to have to get my sill plates that go here so we make sure they fit right. On the old car, or before I replaced this was solid, and then it had a couple of oval openings where you could run your wiring through that rocker arm. I am probably going to, I'll get my sill plates, and then I'll make sure I got the screws, see where the screws got to go, and then I'll just weld some little pieces in there. Make sure I got those right, and that way he knows how far to the edge of carpet's got to go. I was just looking here. I'm going to need to get my new wiring. My courtesy light, hard to see over there. You can see this one right here. So I'm going to have to get new wiring run because that also runs across in that trough up there. So there again, I'll need to do that before I put the headliner in. One other thing I figured out, I was looking on Eastwood. So this car, it's going to be two-tone. Top's going to be black. Right now I'm looking at a metallic black. They've got one, I think they call it silver Arctic Ice Black or something that's got metallic in it. So that'll be the top, and then the bottom's going to be Wimbledon white, and the Wimbledon white's going to be pretty close to what little bit of white I have on my upholstery and interior. But what I found is, now that I know what color I'm going to do, I can actually get spray cans of their single stage urethane, color match to then whatever gallon I would order to paint it, like in this case, the Wimbledon white. But it's $35 a can, and it's a two-part can basically. Somehow it's a spray can that has the paint, and then I'm guessing the hardener or the activator or something. And so I'm gonna order 4 cans of that tomorrow, and that'll get me where I can start working on all my jams and my interior. I mean, I'm not going to paint the whole interior because most of it's going to be covered up, but I can get going on that. And I already got my dash. It's a black metallic, so hopefully that'll save me some time. And like I say, then one of the steps I'm going to have to do is get this top painted. So I got that door over there to change out. Once I get going on this, I'll change that out before I go to doing my jams and that kind of stuff. But yeah, I'm down to the point where I've really got to look and pay attention to my process steps of doing this thing, because I don't want to have to go back and take something apart because I didn't do something else. So that's where we're at. Today is probably not going to be a whole lot of filming because it's inside there where, I don't know, I might be able to set up and have enough light in there where you can see what I'm doing. But basically it's just going to be cutting these dynamats down to 24 inch, putting 2 of them on the top, rolling them. I bought some tape so I can tape the seam, and that's the plan for today. So hope you guys have had everything good in your life since I went to work on the backhoe and wasn't working on the Ford. I didn't really, if you wasn't subscribed, you wouldn't have known about the backhoe videos because I didn't post it out on the Facebook pages, the Ford pages and that kind of stuff like I normally do, because I didn't want to overload you with junk. But if you're interested in replacing the hydraulic pump on a 1989 580 case backhoe, there's some videos there for you to see how it's done, but I didn't have near as many views. I know a lot of you guys are watching the channel because of the car, and we'll be getting back on it now. So here we go. I know I got at least a month here where I'll be working on the car. I got the backhoe job partially done. I've got the pad done, all leveled up. Guy's still got to get some more information on his building, you know, so before we dig the footers, and he's going to be gone for the whole month of May. So I'm going to start banging this thing out and probably put in some late nights. The little surprise I'll show you here, the upholstery guy, he had some time, and he got my upholstery done a little sooner than anticipated. So now I got to get banging this thing out and get her put together. So I'll keep taking you along, and hope you enjoy. Later. The second one went in pretty good. Somewhat easier after doing the first one. The only thing you got to really watch is you want to make sure, and I already got it taped, but you want to make sure you get those edges close. If you get it even the littlest bit over, you'll end up with kind of a ridge there. I had a couple of spots where I got a little too close with it, but I was able to just take my roller and roll it good, and it laid down there next to it and eased in, and I put my tape on, and there we go. I can tell just sitting here talking that it's quieter in here, so it's rattling more because I got some of them bows laying up on top. Yeah, I can tell I don't have near the echo in there. But okay, got that part done. I'm not going to go ahead and put those other strips back there. I believe that back is solid enough. You know, you're not going to get a whole lot of roof rattle or anything out of it, especially once we get the headliner in. So what I'm going to do now is start putting in, trimming down my bows where needed, and get them put in where they're just snug up against there. All right, new day, back out in the shop, back on the 53 Ford Victoria. Shop dogs, what are you doing? Hey, what are y'all doing today? Just gonna lay around and sleep and run around and play? Yeah? So, we left off yesterday. I was working on my bows for my headliner. Really wasn't anything to film. I did get my bows put in, and for the most part I haven't had to trim any yet, but I've still got at least one more right here that goes between, I don't know if you can see it there, but the one right here. So I want to put another one right there. And I think I might already said it, but the The upholstery guy, he wants to actually leave a couple out because he said on these old cars, there's too many. He said you don't need them, and they just look kind of gaudy and cheap. So he wants to leave a couple out and make it look more like a modern automobile type headliner. So we worked on that. Still got that one to do. The other thing I done is I decided, well, I better make sure I had all my interior trim. And so I went up and dug it out, got looking at it. I already had a couple of pieces down here that I've been using for test fitting. Some of it, like this, it's actually a metallic, black metallic. And some of this I had already stripped down, cleaned up, and painted 20 years ago. But it's been wrapped in newspaper literally since 2006. There was some dates on the newspaper. And it moving and just getting moved around and stuff. Now the newspaper's stuck in a few places. And then you can see it's got some scratches and stuff. So what my plan is, I found all. I spent last night sitting in here with Rolox and pretty much the red Scotch-Brite grit. There was a few of them, the ones that hadn't been cleaned up. I actually had to take and use some 80 grit, and on one of them I actually used some 60. And then I would work my way up. If I'd done them with the 120, then I would work with a brown Scotch-Brite, and I'm not sure what grit that's supposed to be, but it seems to be a coarser grit than the green. And so then I'd go with the brown. Some of it I could take off with the brown, and I'd go to green and then red. Anyhow, got those all cleaned up. A couple of them, you can see this one got a little darker even after I cleaned it again. So some of these look like I had actually cleaned them and then hit them with my rust converter. This one, kind of the same. Back in 2006, 2007, whenever I was cleaning those up. And so they look a little different. So I've got all those ready. I'm gonna gather up all the stuff that I've already painted. I'll pull the stainless off, and I'll just give them a scuff with the Scotch-Brite, and then hit them with another coat or two of the paint. I still got to take this one down. You can see up there maybe. Got a few pieces of newspaper stuck to it still. I haven't done anything with this one other than put it up to make sure I knew where it was, but you can see. So today my plan was to get out here, get all the ones that I've cleaned up, hit them with my high build self-etching primer, let them set and maybe get them sanded. Well, I might get a break in the wind sometime today, but we're getting 20, 25, 26 mile an hour winds today, so I'm not going to do that. I want to do it outside. I don't want all that overspray and stuff in here. And then it dawned on me, I still have to come in here and I don't know if you'll be able to see it there. I need to come in and clean out all these screw holes. They've still got some rust in them. And I had something I had to do that with before, and I was trying to find a wire brush, a conical shaped wire brush to get in there and clean it up. And I bought some gun cleaning brushes, and they were just too soft. So I've actually looked. Harbor Freight has a set of what they call engine brushes. So I got to go to town Wednesday, Thursday for a doctor's appointment, and when I do, I'm going to stop by Harbor Freight and pick that kit up. It's like $25, and then I'll be able to put one of the brushes on a drill, get it all the rust cleaned up, and then I'll go to getting some primer on them. As I was going through this, I figured out a couple of things. So these two curvy ones here are what goes along the rear, holds the rear package tray, so it comes along here and then curves up the back window here. Well, I've got some extra pieces. I parted out about 3 other parts cars, not counting my one that I got the engine and drivetrain stuff out of, because it was actually a custom line. But I had parted out several other Victorias, at least 2, maybe 3. And as I was going through these, I was putting them up there and double checking, and then I could kind of tell which ones I had started cleaning up. But as I went through, I got one of those. I actually have 4 of them, and one of them was about an inch shorter. Well, what I think happened, I remember one of the cars I parted out was a 52. This is a 53. And if I remember right, the 52 has a 3 glass back window. In fact, I think I've got a set of the window bars out there that I saved out of it. So that must explain why those were shorter. And then I ended up here with a couple of extra pieces. And this one actually, the one looks like I may have actually started cleaning it up. This one doesn't. But I don't think they go to this car. With a 53, can tell me where those would go, let me know. But right, I have, as far as I know, all the pieces of my interior trim that I need. So I think those might be extra, and maybe they was off of a sedan that I took apart or something, but I'm not sure why I saved them less. I just thought it might be something I needed for this. The other thing that happened, if you guys remember a little while back on my video, one of my videos, I was working on putting in my headliner bows and getting the right ones in there. And I had some little pieces that hold that back bow in place to keep your headliner pulled back. And I broke one of them. I knew I had 2 others that I'd saved, but I put them someplace where I wouldn't lose them, and sure enough, I lost them. Well, yesterday as I was looking for these little connector pieces, and well, they're all connector pieces. I was looking through, and guess what? I actually found the 2 little wires that hold that back bow in place. And if you remember, that hole right there, oh, right there, there's 2 of them back there, and that's where they go, and then they hook on that rear bow. Well, then yesterday as I was researching and doing my my trim, it actually looks to me like right there, light's gonna mess it up, right in the middle, and another one over there. And maybe two others up here on the corner. I'm wondering if there's actually supposed to be some more of those little hook wire pieces that hold the front of that headliner. I'm wondering if there's supposed to be some additional ones of these that attach to that front bow and hold it towards the front. So if any of you out there have done a headliner on a 53 Ford Victoria, let me know if you know what's on the front, because I know you have to, I could actually put the front windshield in before I put the headliner in. The rear window I can't. And all the instructions I read said you bring your headliner down enough and you glue it with contact cement down there under that garnish molding. So I don't know. I don't know if my upholstery guy knows or not. He said we could make new ones of these, so if we got to make some for the front, why, that shouldn't be an issue. But yeah, if you've done the front of a headliner for a 53 Ford Victoria, let me know if there's supposed to be more of those little holders there. So with the wind and needing parts or tools, I'm thinking today what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and try to get that rear bow, actually the two rear bows finished that have to go in there. And I've ordered my aerosol stage one, or yeah, single stage urethane, the Wimbledon white like I've talked about. I ordered 4 cans of that last night from Eastwood, so it should be here in a few days. So today I think my plan is I'm going to try to get that other door off. Remember I said I got to change that one, got another one back over here in the corner. That's better. I'm not going to put it on yet because I want to get it out here on a platform to work on it. But I want to get it off, and then I'm going to start. I've actually had some of my interior pieces in here, so I know where it goes and what's still going to show. So I'm going to work on getting this cleaned and scuffed, so when those cans of spray paint get here, I can actually start painting my interior and start working on my jam. So that's my plan today. That's the plan for today. We'll see how it goes, because I want to get all that on. I may do a little bit more here coming up on these rear quarters, and then I'm going to get this thing down off the jack stands and the ramps where it's lower, and get my hood blocked, or my hood. I got to get that blocked too, but I'm going to start blocking the top. So when the time comes here, I got to get that painted first before I can put the headliner in. We're talking painted. I don't want to just paint the back where that band's going to go or anything. I want to go ahead and get the top painted. I'll get that stainless band that goes on there on before we go to putting the headliner in. So some of these parts I've had for, like, say, 20 years. And I saved anything I thought I might need. And once I get this done and make sure I have all my parts, I'm actually going to have some extra interior trim, some of the exterior stainless. I sold the metal pieces here that go on the top of the front doors. I actually sold a set of them last week to a gal in California that's restoring one of these. and that was the only piece that she was missing. So I have the ability to actually polish most of my stainless up there on the top, and then a bunch more here on sitting on the back of my Jeep. But I'm going to have some extra. Right now, fairly certain the only piece I'm missing, if anybody out there has one or knows where I could get one, this has stainless that goes on the rain gutter. So there's a piece that goes from like here back and then here around the front. I've got 2 of the little joiner clips, but I have not been able to find my 3rd one. So right now, that's the only stainless I know of that I'm missing. A few other little parts and pieces. I got a couple good bumpers, new grill or redone grill that I got off of eBay that I'm not happy with, but it'll work for a while. I got a few pieces I'm going to have to send and get re-chromed. I think there's a new chrome place in Kingman that I might try. I don't know if they're doing actual coating or if they're chrome coating or if they're doing like a Cerakote or something like that. I'll find out. Because I've got rear backup lights that was not standard. I think they're an option. I need to get them re-chromed. My headlight rings were originally chromed. A few little things like that, but we're almost the end of April here now, and I'd like to have it done sooner, but my goal is to have it all but finished by our car show here in Meadview for Oktoberfest. So a few things I gotta get done sooner than I anticipated, because the upholstery guy, I told him I wouldn't be ready for it till, I don't know, I might have said April or May or June, but he got it done quicker than I anticipated, and I got behind because of the backhoe job I was doing and the repairs on my backhoe. So now I got to start putting in some late nights and getting this thing together. So I want to thank you all for coming along, and that's my plan for the day. I don't know what I'll set you up for on time lapse. You really don't need to see me sanding and scuffing and that kind of stuff. But if I get something interesting, I'll set you up and either show you or you'll be on time lapse. So thanks for watching, and we'll catch you here in a little bit.